So today I want to have a look at how to increase and decrease by a given percentage, right? So there's two methods that I want to show you today. And look, there's one is quicker than the other one, but you may prefer the method that's not as quick because it's just that tiny bit easier to grasp. So it's just really a personal preference as to which method you prefer. So I'm going to use both, and then once you've tried them both out, you'll get a feel for what you actually like better. Okay, so say I want to increase, let's say a number like 140 by something like 35%, right? So I'll just use nice basic numbers to start with. So our first method means we want to find 35% of our quantity, and then we're going to add that on. Because we're increasing, we're making it bigger. So we know that our end result, we want to be bigger than 140. So we first need to find 35% of 140, which we know we simply divide 35 by 100, which of course changes it into a decimal, and then we multiply by our quantity, which is 140. So that's going to give us an answer of 49. All right, so that's 35% of 140, but we want to increase 140 by that much. So all that means is we're going to add that value of 49 onto 140. So we've got 140 plus 49 gives us 189. So we've increased 140 by 35%. So our second method that we're going to use today is slightly quicker, but as I said, you still might prefer that first method because it is quite clear and stepped out. All right, so our second method, if we're increasing 140 by 35%, right, we can think of 140 as being the whole amount. So when we've got the whole amount, we're talking about 100%. Then we want to add an extra 35% onto that. So what we're really finding is 135% of an amount. So once we've got that added together, which is pretty straightforward, hopefully you'll be able to do that without too much effort. So we're really finding 135% of 140. Okay, so again, we take our percentage, we divide it by 100, and we multiply it by our quantity, which gives us an answer of 189. Okay, so obviously we get the same answer for both. As I said, the second method is a bit quicker because we really don't need to spend the time writing this part down. Okay, but you might still like to use that first method because it's just that little bit easier to grasp. Okay, so that's increasing. When we're decreasing, so say we want to increase something like 350 by 40%. Okay, so using our first method that we talked about before, we're going to find 40% of our quantity. Okay, so of course 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 350, we calculate that, it becomes 140. Okay, and then because we're decreasing, that means we're going down, aren't we? So we want to take 140 away from our 350. So 350 take away our 40%, which is 140, gives us a final result of 210. Okay, now the second method for decreasing means that we want to work out what percentage it is that we're actually finding of 350. We're decreasing it by 40%, so that means we want 40% less than the total. The total, of course, is 100%. Take away 40%, leaving us with 60%. So what we're finding is 60% of 350. Of course, 60 divided by 100 multiplied by our quantity gives us our expected result of 210. So there you have it. Two methods to increase and decrease by a given percentage. Hopefully you can work out which one you prefer and find that easy to work with. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more explanations of common concepts found in maths. And you can also comment and let me know if there's something specific you'd like me to look at.